If you find that while you're jetting you're frequently blowing pressure discs or your engine is bogging down, this video is going to help you figure out what's going on with your jetter. So first, to understand why you're blowing a pressure disc or your engine's bogging down, it's because the jetter has overpressurized for what the pump is rated for. With a Tier 4 engine, there is a protective measure in it that will try and regulate the pressure so it reacts to the pump overpressurizing by bogging down. And by bogging down, we mean the engine revs will throttle down, and sometimes it will bog out completely and turn off, or otherwise it may just fluctuate. If you have a Tier 3 engine, that will just blow the pressure disc because it does not have that protective measure inside of the engine, so it will just straight away blow the pressure disc. I'm going to show you what it looks like when your engine bogs down or potentially your pressure disc may blow. So we're going to turn on our engine, turn on our water. I'm going to go all the way to preset 4, and this is on an elite control panel. And you're going to notice it's trying to go to 4,000 psi. And if you look at this pressure gauge, it's going to go over 4,000. And then the engine has now gone into protective mode, and it has shut down the machine to protect the pump. There are a few reasons why you may be blowing a pressure disc or bogging down your engine. It could be that you have a nozzle that's mismatched for your machine. You may have a blocked orifice in the nozzle. You could have a kinked hose, or you may not be opening your bypass enough. And to be clear, in this video, we're going to be going through with your main sewer hose. So this is not a micro or a mini or smaller size hose. There'll be another video about that we'll link in the description. But for now, we're just working with your main sewer hose. So to begin with, you want to check with the nozzle on the end of the hose. We're going to run the machine up to idle, and we're just going to see what pressure it gets to. If we notice that it's getting above 1,500 psi, there's likely some problem with either the hose or the nozzle. So we're going to start by operating the machine. I'm going to turn the engine on and water on. And what you're going to be looking at is the gauge here. So this is just with it running at idle. And you're going to notice it's going to exceed that 1,500 psi. That generally indicates there's a problem. Sometimes it will go even higher above 2,000 psi, but we know at idle, it should be anywhere between about 1,000 to 1,500. I'm going to turn that off now. So next we've got to test if the nozzle is mismatched to the machine. So keep in mind, if you have a 4018 machine, you should have a nozzle that operates at 4,000 psi, 18 gallons per minute. If you have a nozzle that has a lower flow, that is going to result in this bogging down or the pressure disc blowing. If you're not quite sure if your nozzle is rated for your machine, we're going to show you a test to do. So first, I'm going to get the nozzle off the end of the high pressure hose. So to test if the nozzle is mismatched for the machine, I have removed the nozzle from the high pressure hose. And I am going to run this up to full pressure, again, making sure there's no nozzle on the end of the hose, but we're going to run it up to full pressure, and I'm going to show you on the screen what it should look like. So I'm going to go all the way up to preset 4. So your preset should be 4,000 psi. Our actual water pressure, both on here and on the gauge down here, should be between 1,000 to 1,500 psi. And my engine revs should be right around 2,050 RPM. If you show all of those parameters on your machine, then there's nothing wrong with your hose and there's nothing wrong with your jetter. That means that it's likely there's a problem with the nozzle. Keep in mind, if you recently purchased a new nozzle, sometimes the drill jets start out slightly smaller in anticipation of them wearing over time, so that can cause a slight overpressurization. To combat that, all you want to do is crack open your bypass, which I'm going to show you now. So I'm going to start my engine, start my water, and I'm going to watch my gauge here, and if I start finding that I'm going above 4,000, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crack my bypass a little bit, and you'll see that relieves some of the flow, which allows my pressure to continue reading at the appropriate 4,000 psi. If you have any other questions or need any help with troubleshooting, just give our team a call.